go to Pan Express and grab some Pan Express. Alright guys, I'm gonna go pump gas because my honey bunny used my truck yesterday and he didn't put gas. He left it on empty. Honey buns, you need to put gas when you use my truck, please. So yeah, you guys, every time my husband uses my truck, it's so funny because they give him a look because my truck is white and it has like the pink. And I find it so funny because they probably think he's gay, but he's not. He's my husband and it's my truck. I'm kind of planning, and then my license plates say princess, so they probably think he definitely is a mariposon. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get my license plates to say wifey's car. That way he doesn't get bullied. But I'm gonna go to the nearest gas station here, which is the 76, because I feel like literally me va a dejar tirada esta troca. But we're gonna go pump gas and you guys are gonna see how much money this truck fills up with. Press 91. Do it. Do the hype man.
The hype?
No, do the floss.
Oh, fresh.
Which other one?
Oh, riding a horse.
This is Allison, by the way. We are currently at $76. Allison, ahora vas a ir con tu papá.
¿Hacerme?
Háblame en español.
Vamos a ir con mi papá.
¿A qué horas van a ir con su papá?
A 7.
A las 7. ¿Y qué te gusta hacer en casa de tu papá?
Jugar la teléfono.
Jugar en el teléfono. Yeah, sí, aprovechale porque en mi casa no. Ok, you guys, ya paró la pompa. Se llenó con $95.
Thank.
I now have a full tank of gas.
104.
No.
140.
Alright guys, so we are gonna go to Pan Express for all of us and then to McDonald's for Joshua because Joshua didn't want Chinese. Alright guys, so we're going to have lunch. It's currently 1:41. She has half and half with teriyaki chicken. She has half and half with honey walnut shrimp. She has half and half with beef broccoli. Joshua has a mac chicken with fries, chocolate milk. She has half and half with beef broccoli. And then for myself, half and half with mushroom chicken, and then beef broccoli, no beef. And we're gonna enjoy this meal. Guys, I also got a side of honey walnut. It's really good.
Is it good? I tried it. And she was not recording.
I took my first bite. I was talking to you guys and I wasn't even recording.
good.
I have a cheap Coke. It's good.
It smells like the real Coke.
It smells good.
I got fizzy drink.
I am the fan. I like one.
Pineapple, apple pear. Or then that's why you always get the shrimp one because it tastes good. It should taste good. Next time.
Wherever I go and I get Chinese, I always ask for beef broccoli, but no beef. I don't know. I don't like the beef. But I do like the broccoli with the beef juice, if that makes sense. So it's good.
It's gonna die.
Yeah.
So you guys, I hope you enjoyed my my makeup tutorial yesterday. Hopefully you liked what I can bring to the table. I love makeup. I've loved makeup since I was about, I don't know, maybe like 12, 13 years old. So, but my parents wouldn't let me use makeup, so what I would do was at school I would draw, and like I would draw eyes and stuff, and I would like use colors and kind of mimic like makeup on my drawing. So so that's how I kind of got like the whole playing with makeup experience, but it wasn't really makeup. And then you guys, when I was in elementary school and middle school, I was such a geek. No. I was such a geek. My parents were so strict with me. Oh my god, like I used to have a unibrow, and I remember like all my friends like were able to shave their legs and shave their arms and, you know, plug their brows, and I'm over here in 6th, 7th grade with the freaking unibrow on my forehead.
When C was in 7th grade, SpongeBob came out. With the unibrow.
But yeah, if you guys know me from back in the day when I was younger and you're watching my video, you're gonna remember how I used to have a unibrow. And then once I hit, I think it was in 8th grade. Was it 8th grade? Yeah, it was in 8th grade. Like a couple of days, I think, before we started, or a couple days once we started 8th grade, I was at home in the bathroom and I saw my dad's razor, so I literally shaved this portion of my eyebrows because I didn't want the unibrow anymore, and my parents didn't even notice. And I got a mean old beating thanks to my brother, because my brother was the one that told my mom that I shaved my eyebrows, and so my mom kicked my ass. But yeah. But anyways, and yeah, so that was that. And then my parents used to be so strict. My parents wouldn't let me wear jeans, they wouldn't let me wear shorts, they wouldn't let me wear sweats. Like, they only wanted me to wear dresses and skirts. So I would go to school in skirts, and not even like cute like skirts. I had to wear like the viejita skirts, you know, the ones with the paletones that you had to like planchar and make them look all perfect. Yeah, that was me. I was that girl. I was the geek. But I used to hang out with all the cool girls at school, you know, because I didn't want to get my ass kicked. So yeah, that was me. I was the geek hanging out with the cool kids. I started playing makeup, like actually applying makeup on my face, when I turned 16. Yeah, because I was pregnant with my oldest. But when I was 16, I was going to school. I had to be at home. I was taking care of Emma. And so I remember I came out. I was so happy, you guys, because I got interviewed by the Daily News, the Los Angeles Daily News, back in the day. I don't have those papers anymore. I think I lost them. But yeah, and then I got followed like the whole day around by the news reporter.
What? This is nice. Did I even turn on a microwave?
Beep. See. I know it. I said nope.
Okay, Joshua, if you're done eating, pick up your trash, and you know where the trash goes, please.
Okay. Now what you gonna do with? Now what you gonna do with this?
And then I moved in 2005 out to Victorville, and that's when things got real. So
I opened it.
and then I don't know, like I had an incident with my father when I was 14, and my dad's a trucker, so I thought I was like daddy's girl. But yeah, I had this incident one of the times that I went to work with him, and like that fucked me up. Like honestly, like that ruined everything for me. I didn't want to be at home anymore. My mom became more abusive towards me. I don't know, like everything changed, and so I was tired. Honestly, I was tired of being in a home where I got so abused, and my way out of that home was getting pregnant, you know. So if you're watching this and you're a teenager, you're a younger girl, don't do that. Just be smart about it. Because I wanted to get out of one hole, and I ended up digging myself into a deeper hole. So that's my advice to you. Just don't do it. Don't get pregnant because you're trying to get out of something, you know. It's really tough being 16 and raising a child. So but that's that, you know. I don't regret anything that I've done because I'm the woman who I am now. But I don't know.
Honey, what college did you go to?
To Mission.
I don't know what college you left.
And then
Will guide your future.
so yeah, so with my birth mother, I talk to her here and there, a couple times a year, and we talk like friends. We don't even talk like she's my mom and I'm her daughter. It's like it's so weird, so odd. It's not even like friends. We talk like conocidas.
For your patience and understanding.
But
everything you
when I was 19, yeah, when I was 19 years old, I finally decided to get out of my abusive relationship. And then literally like about a week after I had left my ex, I found out I was pregnant with twins. That was tough because I kept thinking like, man, what am I gonna do? Like, it's so hard with one. Now I'm gonna, you know, not jump from 1 to 2, but 1, 2, 3. And so I ended up, like I said, I didn't have my parents' help, so I ended up, Emma, bring me an apple, mommy, please.
Okay, me too.
And so I ended up getting back with their dad, and I thought he was gonna change, but things just kept escalating and getting worse, and so to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. And the last time that he had hurt me, I just called the police, you know, and I ended up going to a shelter for victims of domestic violence. And if you're watching my channel and you're going through this, just because he doesn't hurt you physically doesn't mean he's not abusing of you. You know, there's verbal abuse, there's mental abuse, there's physical abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's so many kinds of abuse out there, and you can get help. You know, you're not alone. And back in the day, I thought I was alone, and thanks God I wasn't. I was able to stay in the shelter, because usually shelters are for about 45 days. I think at the most is 45 days. But the shelter that I stayed in, they were really nice. They really went out. They went all out and about into helping me, and they allowed me to stay there 3 months. You know, they allowed me to save money. So there was so much that they did for me. And so when I got out of the shelter, I turned 21. That same day that I turned 21, December 19th, that same day, it was my last day. So I walked out of there with so many presents for my kids. I walked out of there with money saved, and so, but I didn't have anywhere to go. So what my caseworker did was that she ended up kicking out their father, and then they made him pay my rent so that I could live there with my kids. And that's when I decided to take the next step, and I started working at a retirement home, and I liked it. You know, I liked it. So then I started going to school to become a CNA, and things just kept getting better and better and better. So
I don't know how old was I, but where was that shelter? I remember.
In San Pedro.
Dang. I was like 3, no?
And in that shelter, I met one of my really, really close friends who I love so much. You know, I call her La Mujeres. We call each other Mujeres. It sounds funny, but that's just her thing. Her name is Viridiana, and I call her Viri. Like, I love her. Mujeres, si estás viendo, I love you. But yeah, ella es una muy buena amistad para mí, más que una amistad. Yo también la considero como una hermana, la considero familia. Te quiero mucho, eh? But yeah, I met her there, and then we've been inseparable since.
And yeah. I put my hand in it. My new curly knuckle.
What the heck?
This is so good.
That's like that. I don't know.
This is so good.
Yeah, the shrimp is good.
I told you.
I think that when you go, can you give me shrimp? Yay. It actually tastes good. Don't make the shot fall.
I swear, this tastes just like a Coke.
I'm a baby wolf. Oh, you playing that game again? I'm a baby wolf.
So,
I'm a baby tiger.
I went on ranting a lot.
I'm going to egg. Where's my egg? I'm an egg. I'm a little
But
tiger, Lisa.
the reason why I went on a little rant that was all over the place, because I want you guys to get to know me.
I hate Great egg. I love the egg.
I want to bring realness to this, you know, YouTube community, because
Make your eggs.
a lot of the YouTubers that we see, a lot of these YouTubers, they sell you perfection. So you guys, with my kids, they're not allowed to have phones. They can't play with phones, at least not in my home. They probably do it at their dad's house, but not here.
I don't do that at that house. Alisa always has it 24/7.
And as you guys can tell, my stepson Joshua, he loves me. Like, he loves to be here. And then sometimes I tell him, I'm like, you know, I tell him, I'm like, oh, you're gonna go home. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because your mom wants to. And he's like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, you have to go. And he's like, no, I want to stay here with you. And I'm like, but I'm so mean. You know, I tell him that. I'm like, but I'm so mean. And I scream. And he's like, I don't care. I love you like that. I want to be here with you, you know. So sometimes I feel bad for him, because with my stepson, he has attention deficit disorder. So he has ADD, and sometimes it's really hard with him to focus, especially at school. And then sometimes, you know, he can't behave. Sometimes, you know, there's good days, there's better days, and there's bad days. But I love that boy as if I carried him in my womb and I gave birth to him. Like, I love him. That's how much I care for him. And so, you know, when I tell him not to do this, or I tell him to pick up that, you know, I'm trying to teach him. Yo quiero que él aprenda. Yo quiero que él sea un niño, que sea un niño y que crezca a un buen hombre. You know, I want him to be a good boy now and a good man in the future. And I want to see him succeed. I want him to go, you know, because he hates school. It's so hard to get him to sit down and, you know, have him read or have him do homework. It's so hard. It's bien difícil. Pero yo quiero que él sea buen estudiante. Yo quiero que él haga algo de su vida. You know, I mean, if he wants to take on the AC business, I'm completely fine with that. You know, but he has to learn. He needs to learn. Everything in this world, any job needs learning and education. Doesn't matter how easy or how simple. Like me with makeup. Makeup, really, the more you play with it, the more you learn about it, the better you get. You have to learn, and learning is key. You know, it's like you know, the first time you apply makeup on, then you realize, man, I should have blended my contour, I should have used a different foundation, I should have pulled it. So, you know, same thing with anything else that you do in life. So, but yeah, I love that little boy. And like I mentioned, today is Saturday.
I go with my daddy.
So my daughters do go with their dad. And they go Saturday 7 p.m. and return Sundays between like 8 and 9 in the night.
I think we're gonna buy a costume today or tomorrow with Lisa, and we're gonna decorate Daddy's house.
Okay. And I'm pretty much done eating.
I know. It's not.
You guys, if you're wondering, my husband got called to do a service, so he went and did a service. And he'll be back in a little bit. And then my baby, he's sleeping.
Yeah.
He's such a good baby. So you guys, when I got with my partner, both of us were like, we don't want kids, we're done. Like, you have 2, I have 3, like, it's perfect. We have 5 children, we don't have to worry about little kids. And so you guys, with my husband, my hubby, he does whatever he can to make me happy. So I remember when we were boyfriend girlfriend and we were going out, there was an Escalade that drove by, I think one of the restaurants where we were eating, and I told him, I'm like, that's my dream car. Like, I want to work so hard that I want that car, you know. I wanted an Escalade. And tell me why, I think it was for our first year anniversary, tell me why he planned something so romantic. For our first year anniversary, he took me out to San Pedro. We had mariscos, and then we went on a really nice private boat ride way deep in the sea. And he surprised me, you guys, with an Escalade. He surprised me with an Escalade, and it was a 2011 Cadillac Escalade, and it was a hybrid, and it was a beautiful truck, and he made my dream come true. So I was like, I don't know, I felt so weird because I've never had anybody do anything for me, but I was so blessed and so happy. So going to the story with Kaden, so we had an SUV, and we were like, well, okay, so that was that. And then, like, I don't know, maybe like about 7 or 8 months into me having the Escalade, he ended up buying me my other dream car, which is my 2016 Chevy Silverado. And so I started using my Silverado a lot more because I was like, you know, it's my truck, it's my dream truck. Like, I felt like a badass in my truck, you know, in my Silverado. Versus when I was like in my Escalade, I felt like so high class, like, you know, don't look at me porque se quiebra el vidrio, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I felt. So, and then I started feeling like, I don't know, uncomfortable on my Escalade because everybody thought de que porque tenía una Escalade estaba cagando dinero, but nada que ver. And so my husband and I decided to, oh, well, in that time, my husband had a 2015 Ford Transit with the KUV body. So entonces we decided to just sue Ford, you know, do the lemon law thing. And so we decided to go through that, but then my husband ended up not having his work truck, so he started using my Silverado, and then I was stuck using the Escalade. So we got so tired of that because I couldn't help him and take material to him because I had the Escalade. And so we decided to go out to Temecula City and trade in the Escalade and get a Chevy Silverado 2500 with like the plumber's body, so especially for work. And I am not lying to you guys, we went on April 3rd, okay? We went out to Temecula, did all that, and so we got rid of our SUV, we got rid of the Escalade. And tell me why. I had already been feeling sick for like a week, but I didn't really take it into consideration because I had the IUD and I had the 10-year one, so I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna end up pregnant. And I remember like a couple days before we went to Temecula, I was craving an In-N-Out burger so bad. Like mi boca se me hacía agua when I would think about that hamburger, you know. And me la comí and I felt so sick, like I couldn't stop throwing up, like oh my god, me puse bien enferma. So me fui toda enferma out there to Temecula. We got rid of the Escalade, and so we came back with, you know, my husband's work truck. And the next day I told my husband, I'm like, baby, like I can't take it no more, like I have serious food poisoning, like we need to get checked. And he was like, okay, you know, he's like, okay baby, like let's go, and you know, I want to make sure that you're okay too. So que vamos a la clínica y ya les digo, no, pues me he estado sintiendo bien mal, no sé qué me pasa. And they're like, well, ¿estás embarazada? And I'm like, no, I have the IUD. And then the nurse goes, well, it's only 99.9% effective, like, you know, there's still that 1%. And then I tell her, I'm like, that 1%, like it's not gonna happen. Like 0.1% like I can be it. And tell me why I take a pregnancy test and I'm not, excuse me, I'm not even sitting down on that chair yet when I get called back into the cuartito and they tell me that I'm pregnant. And I was like, what is going on? Like, that can't be, you know. And I started tripping out. I'm like, what? Because I didn't want any more kids. Like, my husband didn't want any more kids. Like, what is going on? And so, but then I thought about it. I'm like, well, que sea lo que Dios quiera, you know. Like I said, I have my oldest daughter and my twins, so I have 3 girls. And then I felt complete with my stepson Joshua. So, you know, so I didn't feel the need. And, you know, obviously, when I say I felt complete with my son Joshua, it's because he's a boy, you know, and I have girls. So now, well, my husband and I, we find out that we're pregnant. And this was so scary to me, you guys, because the pregnancy test came out positive. But when I had the ultrasound, there was nothing there. Like, nothing. So I literally spent more than an hour on my ultrasound, and it turns out that I was pregnant. What we found out was that indeed I was pregnant, and there was a sac that was measuring the sac was measuring about 6 or 7 weeks, but there was nothing in there. Like, it was completely black. And so I got scared because I was like, well, then what's going on? So then the doctor said, well, look, you're probably way too early in the pregnancy. That's why we can't see the baby. But you are pregnant, and there is a, you know, there is a baby. There is something in there. So the reason why we didn't find it is because your uterus. So what they explained to me was that my uterus was in the shape of a heart. So my uterus looks like this. And so let's see if I can draw it. So, you know how a regular uterus, it's like, so let's say this is your regular like uterus. Okay, mine's like this. So mine is like in the shape of a heart. And then my baby was way up here. So this is where, so let me draw it so you can understand. So this was where the IUD was. So it was in place. It wasn't moved, it was in place. But what had happened was, since I was in the shape of a heart, the T, my what is this, the I forgot what this is called, but this part of your uterus, mine was thicker and the T was a little bit smaller. So there was a little bit of, like, literally almost nothing of space here, which was able to have the sperm to go through. And then I ended up pregnant. So I was that 1% that ended up pregnant with the IUD. And you know, so they told me that they were gonna take it out. And so they told me that my body was going to miscarry, that I wasn't going to be pregnant anymore. And they gave me all the worst, everything that you don't want to hear when you're pregnant. That's what I heard. That's what my doctor said. Like, my doctor was 100% sure, like, se cortaba un testículo y la mitad del otro de que mi cuerpo iba a abortar. And they had me go back in 1 week, and it turns out that when I go and have my ultrasound, my baby was there, and he was growing, and he was measuring almost 8 weeks. So that was like a, oh my god, like a huge blessing. Just because, you know, everybody had scared me, the doctors had scared me, and, you know, as soon as the IUD would get taken out, like, you know, when you're a woman and you find out you're pregnant, you instantly fall in love with that baby. So for me to hear that my baby was there and that he was growing, it was such a blessing. It was so emotional for me. And it was something so beautiful to hear his heartbeat, because I was prepared for the worst. And when I was about 12 weeks, I went in for a 3D ultrasound, and it turns out that the empty sac that was there from the beginning, that was his twin. So he was going to be a fraternal twin, but his twin sac, and it didn't end up growing, and it didn't end up maturing like my baby did. And so I was so happy that, you know, from the 2 babies I ended up with 1. And that day that I gave birth, it was like, I don't know, the best feeling in the whole world to finally see my baby boy. Like when I finally found out that it was a boy, oh man, I couldn't believe it. I was going to have a boy, that I was gonna give birth to a boy. And the reason why I named him Caden is because Caden in Spanish means un lazo irrompible, so it means an unbreakable rope. And in English it means a warrior, and that's why I named him Caden, because he's my warrior. And you know, him and I will always have that chain that will never break. And I love that little boy so much. And yeah, so sorry that I teared up. It's just, you know, I remember what I went through, and it was tough, it was scary. And I didn't think I would go through something like that ever, because I'm young, you know. And but yeah, that's that. So that's the story behind that. So now that I have 6 kids, and my husband and myself, we're 8, we're stuck with not 1 but 2 Silverados, and we don't fit. So usually on Saturdays, you know, he's here, so I'll go out with half of the kids, and then I do what I need to do. But we can't go out all of us together as a family, at least not yet, because we do need an SUV. But we see it like this. So Monday through Friday, it's just my husband, both, well, my 3 girls, baby Caden. And so, you know, my husband's always working, so the girls are with me, so we all fit in my truck perfectly. It's Caden's seat, and then the twins on the side, and then and myself in the front, and we can fit 1 more in the front, because it seats 3 in the front, 3 in the back. So that's what we really haven't looked for an SUV, because we've managed to work around it. But stay tuned. Hopefully soon, you know, we're gonna start shopping for an SUV. But the priority right now is a bigger home. So sorry you guys that I went on a rant on my mukbang. I hope it didn't bore you, but hope that you know, you guys got to know me a little bit better. I don't rant anymore. I don't want to make this too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys liked getting to know me on a more deeper level. And you know, you saw me toda mi cara chillona, but you know, I'm very sentimental. But I will bring you hopefully I will bring you guys more mukbangs, and you guys will enjoy them, and you guys will enjoy my rants. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Take care. Kisses, lots of kisses. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed getting to know me, if you can relate with my situation. And don't forget to subscribe and push on the little notification bell, and I will see you guys soon.